Hello, this is Wmpyr, here to talk about the Heaven 6. And yeah, so the Heaven 6 is one of the earlier techniques that you learn when you start Filipino martial arts, when you start Kia, Kali, Escrima, Arnis. Um, you learn it fairly early on, but it is like the first one of the most difficult things that you learn in the beginning. It's like your first hump that you have to like overcome. Um, but once you get it, um, you're gonna probably feel that it's like riding a bicycle. It's something that you probably won't forget. Uh, so yeah, make sure that you get it down properly. Be patient with it. Super important. And put in lots and lots of repetition. The first part is definitely is memorization, so that you get it correct and that you can do it without messing up. And then starts coming like putting in a little bit of pressure on there. So you might speed it up or changing partners. Um, and then like maybe moving around as you do it, which turns into your first experience with like actual footwork, which is you're just walking. So you being able to move your arms in this set pattern as you walk, just natural. That is pretty much the first and most basic, most important footwork, in my opinion, which is, like I said, just being able to do it without messing yourself up. Another important thing is you want to get it down so that your sticks don't accidentally hit each other. And obviously, you don't want to be hitting yourself, your arms and your elbows. You could clip your elbows. You don't want to hit your knees. Um, so don't hit yourself, right? Um, but yeah, you learn it, memorize it, and then you do partner drills with it. And it is what I call a mirror partner drill. So mirror partner drill is the simplest kind of partner drill where I'm doing the exact same thing that my partner's doing, and they're doing the exact same thing that I'm doing. So we're mirror opposites of each other because their right side's going to be over here on my left side, and my left side is going to be on their right side. But other than that, we're doing the same thing. So I'm just doing Heaven 6, and they're just doing Heaven 6. Okay, and so we're going to be meeting sticks. The sticks will meet. They will tap, right? It's easier than, for example, offense and defense partner drill, where one person is doing an offense and the other person is doing a defense, and then we switch. Now they do offense and I do defense. That is your typical offense and defense partner drill. This is much simpler than that because, like I said, we're doing the exact same thing. We're doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. So when I go from this starting position and my right hand goes, they're doing the exact same thing. Their right hand goes, and our sticks will diagonally clash like that. And it keeps going. So there's benefits in doing the drill like that, but I strongly encourage you guys to get creative with that drill. You need to evolve that drill. You can't just do that. And most people that I see doing the Heaven 6, that's all they do. So it's very, very unfortunate. You need to evolve it. And one of the most common ways that people evolve it is they'll do variations. Maybe they'll do the Heaven6 behind the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Behind the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Behind the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they'll do variations like that, or they'll add a fan motion, and then they'll do Heaven6, add a fan motion, do a Heaven6. You could do variations like that, of course, please do that, but I'm talking about like different things, like speed it up, slow it back down, add forwards and backwards footwork. The typical footwork is you start circling. You both start circling around like this, okay? But you could also start going forwards and backwards, where one person is almost like they're charging, and the other person's backing up, and then you switch. So you could also do that on a hill. You could do it on uneven terrain outside. With the moving forwards and the back, now on the hill, you could start to add some momentum. You could start charging forwards a little bit faster. Safety, you have to keep safety in mind, always. So if you speed it up, keep safety in mind. And same with, you could add some power in there as well. And you can start really, really putting in a ton of power in there. When you're doing the Heaven6 now, we could put in obstacles on the ground. So as you're doing it, you have to pay attention to the ground. So you're doing this, but you're using peripheral vision and seeing, like what I recommend is a water bottle. Is the gallon water bottle, fill that up with water and put 4 or 5 of them on the ground, and now you have to avoid that as you're doing the Heaven6 with your partner. Both of you have to avoid it. So those are good training, simple evolutions. I've also done it, or made my students also do it with me, and also with each other, in low light conditions. And then we took it a step notch to where one person was blindfolded. Never did both people are blindfolded, but that's possible as well. But remember, keep safety in mind. So these are things, simple things that you could do to evolve the Heaven6. This is martial art, so you can get as creative as you want. You want to go one stick in a hand, training knife in the other hand, and you could do it like that as well. Or you could go double training knife and do the Heaven6 together as well. They also have double training knife. You have double training knife, and now you got to be a lot more accurate because it's a lot shorter. It's going to feel a little different, but those are very, very simple ways that you could evolve the Heaven6, and it's so important. I highly recommend that you do that. If you don't do that, you're really, really missing out tremendously. It's like people that do Filipino martial arts and they never get to the blade. I feel like you're super missing out. So same thing. Evolve your partner drills. Right here I'm talking about the Heaven6 partner drill in particular, specifically, but you could do that with all the drills, not just the Heaven6. But I highly, highly recommend you do this with the Heaven6. Get creative, have fun, evolve it. Don't be afraid to think outside the box, okay? Now there are some drills that are more realistic and practical than others, okay? But, to me, one of the things is you want to experience as much of this kind of stuff as possible so that in the real world, if you ever have to use it and you do experience something weird or something that's going to catch you off guard, you're like, I already done something similar. I've already experienced something similar, so I'm fine with this. That's what's important. So if you've never done it on uneven terrain or in a confined space or even slippery terrain, or even when your palms is wet with either blood or sweat, and it's slippery. Okay, if you've never experienced those kinds of things, or even when sweat is pouring down into your face and it's kind of blinding you, it's stinging. If you've never experienced that, these are the things that you ought to experience, so that you can handle it better if it occurs in real life. Now, all that being said, this is the real point for me in this video, is this next evolution. The next phase of the evolution is the most important part of this Heaven6 drill if you really want to use this stuff in real life, if you want to be combat ready. And what is that? That is putting in an element of chaos, and power is important. But two things that you can encounter in a real life situation is chaos, unpredictability, in other words, and power. So these are the two things that I would focus on, and I did. And this is what I'm recommending to you guys. If you want to do your Heaven6, because the Heaven6 and pretty much every other partner drill that we do in Filipino martial arts is a dead pattern. It's choreographed. It's choreography. So therefore, it is a dead pattern. And if you understand this when you're training with your partner, when I'm doing the Heaven6 and they're doing the Heaven6 and we're doing this mirror partner drill, we're doing the exact same thing, so we have that safety net. And on top of that, we're trying to time it together. And then so we're trying to synchronize it, right? And then on top of that, we're not trying to kill each other, so it's controlled. It's not power. So those are three huge safety nets to help us do the drill successfully and keep doing it. And we're adding it in to our, we're adding it into our nervous system and making it more and more natural, more and more efficient. We're sharpening up our skills, right? But like I said, that is a dead pattern, and we have to understand that. So to make it more realistic, we have to make the pattern alive. And by doing that, if we just say, okay, just do whatever you want, because in real life that's what can happen, then we just have total chaos and we just have full contact sparring and we hurt each other. So that's not the way to go. We inject a little bit of chaos, and we inject elements that are realistic, like I said, power, And another one is we deliberately go out of sync. Normally when we do Heaven6, we are syncing it up together. Here, we're matching. So we deliberately do not match. So as we're doing the Heaven6, and we're doing it conventional, normal Heaven6, and we're tapping sticks the way you're supposed to, okay? So from here, now I could throw in a random attack, one of these attacks, boom. A stab from the side, or I could do a diagonal slashing from the bottom, or I could come in over here with a fan motion, whatever, but I'm putting in a random attack, and that destroys the sync. And if you guys do this with power, at first I recommend go very, very simple. So that random attack, rather than doing all these different possible attacks, like I said, you could do any attack you want. Rather than doing that, I would just stick with one attack. So I'm going to just stab you center line, and you stab me center line. The random part is I don't know when it's coming. So we're doing the Heaven6, and I have no idea when it's coming. You could go even more controlled, where it's my turn. I'm going to do a stab to your center, but when I want. So you know I'm going to do it. You know it's my turn, but you don't know exactly when. So those are very controlled injections of controlled chaos. And it is designed, or that unpredictability, which makes it more realistic than just normal Heaven6. But also, when we're doing this, I can start putting in a little bit more power. And when you do it, so even the Heaven6, boom, boom, we're starting to put in, some 30%, 40%, boom, boom, boom. Control it, but put in that power, and then put in that random attack. You're going to see how dead the normal Heaven6 partner drill is. It is dead training. And by dead, I mean it is completely unrealistic. In real life, it's impossible to sync it up like this. It is not going to happen. Because when you go out of sync, you're going to see how dangerous it is and how difficult it is. So you could be doing Heaven6 where you could be having conversations with people, and this is like yawning. You're bored. It's almost boring, and you could be yawning, and you're almost not even like paying attention. And it's like dot, 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 dot. It's easy. That's because you and your partner have gotten good enough to the level where, you sync it so well, and, your skill has become, higher and higher and higher. But like I said, that is choreography. That is not realistic training at all. And if you think you're at that, because you're at that level, now you could go do this in real life, it's no, because you're not doing any kind of realistic training. To go from that to real life is still a big jump. So in order to bridge that gap, to make it realistic training, it is necessary to include chaos. It is necessary to break the timing. It is to not be in sync and learn how to recover from that, and then to also be able to put in power and handle power, to give power and handle power. That's important. Okay. So once you include those three things, chaos, unsyncing, and power, you'll see that all these drills are dead drills. But that doesn't mean that they're useless. It means that these drills are there to help you see that they are dead, and to help you see what it means to be alive in your training, what it means. So you use the normal Heaven6 and evolve it so that you can experience the dead and the alive. When you go and you put in this unpredictable stab, like I said, from the Heaven6, at any given point, I can stab, right? When you start doing it that way, now I know it's their turn. So even though I know it's coming, and I know what's coming, I just don't know when exactly, all of a sudden, the way that I'm doing the Heaven6 is different. I start bracing myself. I start getting ready. I'm on my toes. I'm ready to do the force to force block because I know it's coming. That kind of tension makes it realistic. In real life, you go, oh man, this guy's going to attack me. Oh, he's a sucker punch. It's coming. I know it's coming. That's the same kind of feel where you start going, oh, it's coming. You need that. You need that for more realistic. And then the unsyncing. So after that, boom, he does that, and I go, boom. And then you keep going and trying to get back to the Heaven6. I keep doing this, and at this point, we're not in sync. I'm just doing Heaven6. They're doing Heaven6. But to make a distance. So at that point, you're also getting poison cloud practice. Okay, but I'm continuing my Heaven6. Boom, 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 boom. They're continuing their Heaven6. And from there, we have to, it's like being in the dark, and you're looking for that light, and boom, here we match, boom, and now we're back in sync, But up until then, I'm doing whatever, and they're doing whatever, but that's the important part. Don't stop, because you get in the habit of, you mess up the Heaven6, you stop, and then you go, okay, let's start over. 1, 2, 3. No, that's no good. You want to be able to not stop. In real life, there's things that are going to catch you off guard, things that throw your pattern off. But from there, you have to keep going. So in real life, does it matter if I'm doing the Heaven6 properly or not? No, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Nature doesn't care. Combat does not care whether you're doing the technique correct or incorrect. So you got to just keep going. Keep going, because if you stop, now you're vulnerable. If you stop, now you're giving them a chance to think, to set you up, to attack you, to whatever, to dominate, to get the upper hand, whatever. Don't stop, so you got to keep going. Oh, I messed it up. That's okay. That's okay. Here's a flail, and then back to the Heaven6, So you got to keep that going. That's in Filipino martial arts they call flow. Flow leads to being alive. And then that last part of power. Once you start putting in the power, at medium range, really, in medium range, there's not enough time. So when you do the stab or the random attack, you have to actually make it to where the other person has time to defend against it. Because in medium range, if I wanted to hit you, we're doing Heaven6, and from here, if I wanted to just break off and hit you, I can. And if you wanted to do the same to me, you can. So it would just be a brawl. It would just be an exchange. And if you understand that, then the dead patterns really, really are dead. With power, if we decided to I'm just going to hit you. I don't care about the Heaven6. Even though right now we're matching, boom, 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 and we start putting in power. And if I said, you know what, I don't care. I'm just going to hit you. You're going to see that we're both going to be messed up bad. So that's why it is a dead pattern. It is totally unrealistic. And if I tried to do it in real life the way it is, we're just going to exchange, and we're just going to end up both severely hurt. And that is not good self-defense. That is not a good way to do combat. That is a stupid way to fight. So putting in the power also helps you see that. I hope this makes sense. This is so critical, and this is the kind of training that I'm doing with my students. This is the kind of training that I strongly encourage you guys. And when I criticize other Filipino martial arts styles, like I said, I'm not here to say the technique is wrong, right or wrong. No, because if I went by that logic, the Heaven6, I told you guys, is a dead pattern. The Heaven6 would be wrong. Then why would I be putting in so much time in the Heaven6? Why would I be... I did the Heaven6 the normal way, but you have to evolve it. And once you do, you see that it is amazing. And that's what I would say about any Filipino martial arts style. And in the beginning, what you're learning is going to be a dead pattern. But once you evolve it and make it alive, then that's when you really get to see the art, the practical art, the combat-ready art. So that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.